Good morning, everybody. We are live. It is Thursday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central. This is the Going Broadway podcast. My name is Alex. To my left, as always, is Cole. We got a fun show for you guys today. I am jacked to the max. Cole, what's happening?
You know, it is a great day to be alive.
I was waiting for a song to follow that.
No, it's just
No.
we are just in a really great mood today because there's just some cool things that are happening, and we're really pumped about one that we get to share today.
I'll tell you what, I think I'm going to share that right off the bat with you guys. So what Cole is referring to is we've got some new sweet merch to show you guys. And by merch, I mean shirts. So
First off, shout out to Andrew who kind of sparked the idea behind the catchphrase of this shirt, I should say. So shout out to Andrew for that. And if you were on our show last week, we kind of teased some ideas, and there are more to come, obviously. But we're pretty pumped about this one.
Yeah, and the thing is, guys, we're open to any kind of ideas or suggestions that you all have. And you might suggest something, and it could just be, just kind of playing, joking around or whatever. But if we like it, we're going to run with it. And that's exactly what happened with this. I mean, I was telling my wife about it last night, and I said it really just started with, like you said, Andrew just, suggesting it on one of the shows. Cole and I liked it. We ran with it. And this is what we got, guys. You ready? Boom.
Alex Cole, baby. I love it.
We got it in black and gold, gold and black, black and green, green and black. Maybe we might do some white shirts, but this is what we're sticking with for now. So,
we're frozen.
Are we?
Yeah, we're frozen.
Are you sure?
I'm frozen over here, and someone said buffering over there.
Let me see.
You guys can see us and hear us. Comment, please.
It says live video interrupted.
Oh, we might be back. Nope. Yes, nope.
We're not dropping frames or anything.
Facebook is not cooperating whatsoever. On Facebook, it keeps going in and out.
It's working on my end. Oh, now it just went out again. What in the world?
It's working for Mark because he says I love it on the shirts.
All right, well, let's see.
Someone said every 2 seconds and it buffers over and over again.
Yeah, it's doing it on mine too. I'm not sure what's going on. You know what, guys?
Oh, Mark's on YouTube, that's why.
Well, what's really weird is that my YouTube wasn't working whenever we went on. Let's see. Guys, let us know if you're still having issues or not. Someone says it's good old Facebook. So I think... So we use Restream, and whenever I opened it this morning, like if there's any kind of issues or whatever, it'll say something along the lines of, pretty much there'll be a big white screen at the top. And this morning it said, which is really ironic that YouTube is working because it says issue with YouTube. Actually, it says YouTube chat issue detected. And it said investigating an issue that's causing some users to receive chat message duplication from YouTube. I mean, that has nothing to do with the streaming, obviously. But you know what? We're just going to go with it, guys. So if you guys are on Facebook, but you have YouTube, switch over to that. Actually, I just popped Facebook back open, and it's working. So we're just gonna let it ride for now. I'm gonna check one thing real quick, guys. Talk about a kick to the you know what. We're trying to.
This would happen when we have such an awesome, exciting announcement.
And Facebook says no. Not having it. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. We're just going to ride with it for now. You guys keep us updated on the chat thread if Facebook is working, not working, if YouTube is working or not working. It looks like for the time being, though, YouTube is the way to go from what you guys are saying. He says WWE is trying to keep you guys down again. Something like that. Justin, new here. I appreciate you tuning in. I love it. Mr. B, thanks for tuning in. Again, just a blanket good morning to everybody. Keep us updated with if you guys are having issues with either Facebook or YouTube. Both, neither. Cole says, restart your Facebook browser. It's working now.
Yep. I just restarted my Facebook. I just clicked out of the whole window, reopened Facebook, clicked in, and it's working. So if you guys can hear us, restart your browser. It's working now. Everything's showing up the right way. So
hooray.
With that being said, he said, Lynn, if you can, click out of Facebook, restart the browser, and then go again. It's working.
Don't just close the tab. Like just
close out completely of the browser, restart it.
If you're using Explorer, Chrome, Firefox, Safari, whatever other browsers are out there, just close out of it completely, open a new window, and you should be rolling. But it looks like Cole says his is working. Mine's working now. YouTube is working for me also. And it usually will tell me over to my right. You guys will see if I'm looking over here. I've got another computer here. On the bottom, it'll say something called dropped frames. If that number starts shooting through the roof, I know that we're frozen, but it's at 0. So we're just going to let it ride. All right. So, yeah, like Cole said, if you're on Facebook and it's freezing, locking up, lagging, whatever, and you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, hop over to YouTube. Could be a Facebook thing, could be a YouTube thing, could be a Restream thing. That's the platform we use. I don't know. But if you're having issues with one, switch to the other. Like Cole said, close out of your browser, reopen it. On our end, it doesn't seem like it's anything on our end.
Yep, we're good to go now.
Cool. All right, I'm going to pop this back up for you. So the first reveal was very anticlimactic.
I'm going to do it again. I'm going to go for it one more time.
All right, guys. Stacy says she's watching on Facebook and no issues. Cool. So we mentioned that we got some new merch available. It started with just kind of a playing around idea, but Cole and I liked it, and we went with it. And this is what we got.
Alex Cole, baby!
I actually like that one better than the first one.
I had to go up just a little bit higher. Just had to take the energy up.
But you didn't do the... That was Richard Nixon. Come on. Adam Cole goes
straight. You want to
hear?
I like the Richard Nixon. I kind of like taking
it. Doesn't matter. I don't know why I'm doing that because we're not even on camera right now.
See it because it's the picture. It's great.
Hold on. I got to go back. Like I said, guys, we're just having some fun this morning because we're stoked about these shirts. I mean, these turned out super awesome. Anyway, that being said, if you're interested in any of these shirts, obviously you can read the Alex Cole Bebe part, but in the center is our Going Broadway podcast logo. If you're interested in any of these, it's $25 for a shirt or for a t-shirt, $50 for a hoodie. That is including that's including shipping. But I think depending on where you live, there will be some kind of a percentage tax depending on where you guys live. If you're interested, let me know. Let Cole know. But these are available today. They are made to order, so between you letting us know you want one, it'd be like 3 to 4 weeks to get them started today, and then them arrive at your front door. If that makes sense, guys. So if you're interested in any of these, you can actually let us know on the chat thread right now. We can get you payment information as far as sending payment for one of these if you're interested. Again, we got some more people jumping on here. A blanket good morning to everybody. Just to recap, we've had some tech issues this morning, but it doesn't appear to be anything on our end. So Brian says sizes, anything from small to extra large is $25 for a t-shirt and then $50 for a hoodie. If it's 2X or more, there's going to be an upcharge for the larger sizes. Anyway, guys, like we were saying, there's an issue with Facebook and or YouTube at any given point this morning, depending on who it was, depending on the computer. Like Cole said, if you close out of your browser, reopen it, it should be working. It seems to be that YouTube has a better, or I should say higher success rate of working. I'm going to switch back to our handsome faces. There we go. But like I said, guys, we'll pop those shirts up again later in the show. If you're interested, let me know. Small, medium, large, extra large, $25 for a t-shirt, $50 for a hoodie, plus taxes. But that the $25 and $50 includes the shipping aspect of it. But depending on your state of residence will depend on where the extra taxes will depend on where you live. Yeah, I got that right. All right, guys. Sorry, the tech issues got me a little flustered and not being able to think what I wanted to say. Again, one more blanket. Good morning to everybody. And we're like I said, we're gonna have some fun today. Today's gonna be our first game show giveaway. We will do that later in the show, and I will explain more how that's gonna work, the rules, anything and everything you need to know. We'll get to that later in the show. And again, this is what we're giving away. This is a one-of-a-kind Going Broadway podcast tumbler. One of a kind. Literally, you would have the only one of these if you won. We did a drawing for it on this past Monday show. The winner did not claim his prize for whatever reason, which I still find weird because it was one of those giveaways that were just for the live viewers. And I guess he stopped watching. I don't know. Doesn't matter. We're giving it away to one of you lucky viewers today, and we'll do that later on in the show. For now, Cole, did you have anything in particular you wanted to bring up? Not to put you on the spot. If not, that's fine.
Not like something that just stuck out to me. I mean, we had some good shows last night. We're not going to get to recapping today, but if you didn't check out AEW or NXT last night, there was a lot of good content last night that I encourage you all to go check out. But yeah, I other than that, I mean, I will mention last night AEW Ricky Starks, sorry, my apologies, debuted last night, and that was a really good match between him and Cody. So if you didn't get a chance to check that out, I would definitely recommend at least that match. But yeah, it was a good night of wrestling last night. So I'm just interested to see what we got to talk about today. I know Alex always brings the stories. So let's see what we got.
Well, speaking of Ricky Starks, apparently AEW, they already have plans for him. So the match last night was essentially his tryout match. I mean, they were interested in him, but this was AEW's way of showing Ricky Starks, okay, we are really interested in having you, so much so that your debut match is going to go against Cody Rhodes, the current TNT champion. But it's still a tryout of sorts. So basically, and this was, I think this was Tony Khan's quote. Let me see. I want to get this quote right. Actually, it doesn't say it was Tony Khan. It just says it was an AEW executive that said this. It says, during the match, we were so impressed, and it said, there's kind of a pause segue. It says this was his tryout. So, I mean, like the deal of he was signed probably after the match because this was taped on Thursday of last week, but he was. This was not like he was signed and then debuted him. This was a tryout, and midway through the match, he looked so impressive that they came up with a program for him and signed him. So, literally, not only did they sign him, during the match, they already have storylines for him in process, or in progress, I should say. It doesn't get into detail as far as what they are, but the fact that they, again, not only said, okay, we're going to sign this guy, like they were so impressed with his match with Cody mid-match that they said, okay, we're not only going to sign him, let's get storylines going for him and get them going now. That doesn't happen unless you've got a huge upside, and Ricky Starks does have a huge upside. Yeah, guys, like I see you guys still having issues with Facebook. My advice is just jump over to YouTube. It seems like YouTube is going to be the way to go today. GoingBroadwayPodcast.com/YouTube, or just go over to YouTube, search for our channel. It'll show the video that's live. Just check us out there. You're going to want to tune in, guys, because again, I want you guys to join our game show giveaway that we're going to do later. Anyway, I'm excited about Ricky Starks being with AEW. I didn't get to see the match, but from everything I'm reading, it was a really good match. He put on a good performance. I think it's a great signing for AEW. It's a good pickup for them. And I'm excited to see how they use him, because I watched Ricky Starks whenever he was doing NWA, whenever they were having NWA Power. If it says anything, for what it's worth, he was their first NWA television champion since bringing that title back. And I'm excited to see what they do with him. I think he would inevitably down the road be a good TNT champion. I'm sure they're not going to put the belt on him right away, but it's a good get for AEW.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, I was getting my YouTube up.
No, you're good.
So I could watch along via YouTube as well. Yeah, I actually watched the match, and I thought the match itself was great. I really enjoyed watching it. He actually cut a really good promo before the match too, just kind of talking about how he was the hottest free agent, and he heard that there was, he was excited when he heard that the TNT Championship would be an open challenge and all this stuff. So, like, I think this is a really good signing for them. If you're not familiar with him, he was on NWA, was NWA World Television Champion. So he had some pretty good matches on there, actually. So you should go and check out his history. You can go look up his matches. I'm sure they're all over NWA's YouTube. But go check that out. But as far as him being in AEW, I think it's a great signing. I think he's a great fit for kind of that mid-card picture right now. Just kind of helps build that kind of division up a little bit. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Agreed. And it's I feel like it's one of those I'll kind of equate it to Jamie's comment. He says, I don't see it. Good on Mike, decent hand, but just no it factor for me. I see where you're coming from, but I'm trying to equate him with somebody that had just started. Okay, let's put it this way. You guys remember when The Rock started? Whenever he was Rocky Maivia, and he seemed super stale, I don't want to say cookie cutter, but just little to no personality whatsoever, other than just this happy, always smiling kind of guy. I'm not saying he's going to be as good or popular as The Rock someday. I'm not saying he's not going to be either, but he's kind of, and I don't know how long Ricky Starks has been in the business to this point, but don't be surprised if he at some point gets out of this shell of, doesn't seem like he has an it factor kind of thing is where I'm coming from. So I'm excited to see where he goes from here. Thomas says Starks did look good. He and Cody worked pretty well together. DJ Jesse Lee says, actually, Ricky reminds me of Fallen Angel. Christopher Daniels, maybe. Yeah, Jamie, that's a good way to put it. He reminds me of Kidman when he started. Exactly. I actually like that comparison better than The Rock. So yeah, I think it'll be good to see. This story I wanted to bring up. And so the title of the story just simply says how Paul Bearer helped The Undertaker stay in character for years. So I read this earlier, and it's not what I thought it was, as far as, I read that article and I'm just like, oh, this will be interesting. And not that it wasn't interesting, but I'll just read it as it says here. It says, The Undertaker signed up for social media and it killed a lot of fans' childhoods. There's a reason for that, because he remained in that gimmick for years, whether he was in or out of the ring, which we all know that. So during After the Bell, Undertaker, he discussed just his tradition of staying in character. And he actually said that Paul Bearer was the one that helped him out a lot, just because there'd still be, there'd be the interactions with fans and just, being out in public in general. So he said it was like I was always working. I was always at work, regardless of whether I was going through a rental car place or whatever. Paul Bearer really helped in that aspect because he did a lot of that, so I didn't have to interact too much with people. I just felt for the longevity and the integrity of the character, that's what I needed to do. So it's interesting because Paul Bearer had a character also. I mean, he was just as much of that, pale and just he was a character. And it's so odd that managers are generally the handlers for talent outside of the ring as well. And it kind of makes you wonder if that's why we don't have the managers themselves having personalities as much anymore, because Paul Bearer basically had to sacrifice his character and break kayfabe, so to speak, so the Undertaker didn't have to. I just found that really interesting. What are your thoughts on that?
So actually, if you guys haven't had a chance, the WWE Network has a Undertaker documentary going on right now called The Last Ride, and they just aired Chapter 4 this past week, and they kind of talk about this a little bit. Just kind of talk about Paul Bearer, his role in Undertaker's career, some of the things that he helped with, and Undertaker kind of talks about that when he took on the gimmick, he knew that was going to be his life. Like, he knew it wasn't going to just be something that he could put down when he walked out of the building. Mm-hmm. This is something that I had to, he was talking about that I had to take on as a life choice in a sense, and it really did dominate most of his life. I mean, you couldn't go outside without being the Undertaker. You couldn't. I always had to wear black. I couldn't go outside and wear this shirt or that shirt. I had to go outside, look a certain way, be a certain way. I even kind of remember my dad. My dad used to be a security officer for Union Station out here in Missouri, and Union Station used to be like a really big area, really popular. Now it's not.
Which is still weird to me how it just isn't anymore.
Switched, right?
Anyway, not.
But it was a huge spot, and so when they would come to St. Louis to do shows, there was actually bars and stuff in the area, and Undertaker would go to the bars, but he had to be in character. I remember my dad telling me that he was always in character when he saw him at Union Station. He never broke out of it. He was always this guy, even when he was just going to have a drink or when he was just going to have food or whatever it is that he was doing. He still had to live the character. So, but they kind of talk about the Paul Bearer thing and how Paul was really monumental in making sure that Undertaker was taken care of inside the ring and outside the ring.
Yeah, and it's just, I can't imagine going, to be quite honest, going through life outside of wrestling and that, like, you having to do that. Like, I can understand, like, if you're a heel, you ride with and hang out with other heels. If you're a face, you do, you ride with and hang out with other faces. You don't have interactions in the hotel or in the bar or on the beach or whatever. That's fine. I get that aspect of it, and that's not hard. But at the same time, I should say, on the other hand, you've got someone like the Undertaker that so entrenched in his on-screen personality and his gimmick that it's like, I mean, like you said, never out of character, still wearing black. Not saying he's going all out and wearing a trench coat, in the mid-peak of summer or anything like that, but I'm sure he's still probably, he's got the hair, he's got, maybe like, he might have jeans on. I'm not saying he's wearing his gear everywhere, but like he probably black jeans and black shirt, just this coldness that he's still exuding whenever he's out in public. And I can't imagine, I wouldn't be able to do it. It would drive me up the wall because you see him on camera now and it's just like he's a normal guy.
Yeah. And there's just some gimmicks that you just can't do it with, like there's just some gimmicks that they just are so over and almost so believable and just so you get connected to in a sense that you can't just break kayfabe when you go home. You know, like Baron Corbin, for instance, he could be King Corbin on TV, and then as soon as he leaves the building, be Baron Corbin or be who he wants to be, and it's not that big of a deal. And he is, you know, one of their more featured talents on TV. Jeff Hardy can go there, put on the face paint, and be Jeff Hardy, and then leave the building and be normal and go out and do karaoke like he does and everything else. But there are some guys like, before Matt Hardy switched to AEW and kind of did this multi-personality type gimmick, when he was running Broken Matt Hardy, it's really hard for him to go out and try to be regular Matt Hardy. You know what I mean? Because people got so connected to the character. When he's out and about in his normal life, they're wondering why his hair ain't all freaked out and why he's not wearing a robe and talking like he's from the 1800s.
Right.
You know, because they get so connected to the character, and especially at a time when Undertaker really took off. This is at a time where wrestling was still very much gimmick based.
Right.
It was I believe the gimmick. I believe that this is who he is, you know, whatever. And I'm sure Kane probably had very similar problems as well going out in public, because, you know, but he was masked for some of that, but
then after he unmasked, sure.
Yeah, like it's one of those things where once you build such a character that is as monumental as the Undertaker, it's like it would kill the character if he went out in public and was just Mark Calloway.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And it's sad to think of that, because think about living your life for, I mean, how long has he been in the business? Probably over 20 years.
Undertaker, it's been 30 years.
Yeah, I was going to say probably closer to 30.
It's right. It's actually right at 30, because it's been long. It's longer than 30 years, because he was in NWA/WCW in 88, 89.
But as far as being Undertaker,
yeah,
he's
right.
probably been
right at 30 years, because he debuted at Survivor Series 1990.
So 30 years of having to live your life kind of being somebody else, you know, like having to kind of cater to that. And over the past couple of years, again, the documentary kind of talks about this. He's kind of slowly let go of the reins of some of that. You know, he broke kayfabe on one of the WrestleManias and kissed his wife and his kids after the match. So, and then AJ Styles kind of plays off that though later on. He's like, you know, kind of played off Michelle, making him soft and all these things. So, yeah, but I couldn't imagine being that kind of a character, such a monumental character, and the burden that comes with it, because most of those characters they could go home and be themselves. John Cena was monumental, but you know, he could go home and be normal. You know, yeah, he might have paparazzi when he goes out to restaurants and stuff. The Rock, Stone Cold, a lot of these guys, they were able to just go and be.
Had this picture of John Cena walking into his living room, holding up a towel and then throwing it, and then just sitting down and watching TV.
Well, I mean, could you imagine if each and every one of these guys had to do what The Undertaker did and had to stay almost in character? Like if Stone Cold was to stay in character all the time, we would be seeing news stories all across town of him stunnering people, having beers thrown to him. I mean, like no one's had to really operate. I think now the closest person would probably be Bray Wyatt with his Fiend character. I think he was out in public, it might hurt him a little bit, but again, he still has kind of an alternate personality where he's allowed to be Bray, and then there's the Fiend. You know, there's not really been a person like The Undertaker here in the past couple of years, you know, probably a decade, honestly, that has had to operate in a gimmick that took off like The Undertaker, that really would hurt him or her if they were out in public and not operating within the gimmick. And that's a really hard thing to think about, because we just don't have those type of gimmicks anymore.
Yeah, and the thing is, really the one person, while, I mean, it's a gimmick, but it's just part of him being a heel. That's why I like MJF, because with rare exceptions, like he still plays that role outside of the ring. Like he still plays that role during conventions and signings and things like that. I mean, with rare exceptions, I mean, like I don't know if anybody watches Shot of Brandy on YouTube. It's pretty much just, I don't want to say it's a cooking show, but they cook or bake anyway. But MJF was a guest on there, and he was kind of semi-heelish, but for the most part, I mean, he was kind of mellow. Maybe is the right word compared to how he is on TV, but except for rare exceptions like that, with MJF, besides those, he plays his role even outside the ring, and that's what I want to see more of in general with wrestlers. Now, I'm not saying they have to go all like, again, I'm not saying that faces can't be around heels outside the ring and things like that. But I think I get that kayfabe is dead. I mean, we're all aware of it, but someone needs to revive it. And I feel like MJF is kind of getting there to help revive it. I can't really think of anybody off the top of my head that's doing what he's doing, still playing that heelish role outside of TV, outside of the ring. But Undertaker is on a whole new level, getting back to him, because it was more than just a character. It was the personality, the look, just how he walks. Because from everything I've read, anything and everything you saw on TV, he did outside of the ring. Even, just that slow, monotone way that he talked back in the day.
He was on TV shows. He was on talk shows and had to still stay in that character. And kind of going off the kayfabe thing, at least a happy medium of kayfabe.
Yeah.
It's hard. I hate to even mention this person's name because I feel like the comments will rabbit trail.
No, go for it.
But for just to kind of prove my point, Nia Jax. On TV is supposed to be this heel, is supposed to be this bad person, this just really just beating up on everybody kind of personality, but then it's on TikTok doing all these TikTok dances. And what I'm saying is that that's the kind of stuff that breaks your kayfabe, because over here on TikTok, you're over here smiling, doing all these TikTok fun dances and all this stuff, and you and Lana are together, and you and Mandy Rose are together, and they're both, Lana's actually a heel, but Mandy Rose is a face, and you guys are all over here doing combo TikTok dances together. But then on TV, you're beating up on all the faces. Mm-hmm. You might have beat up on Lana in the same show, or beat up on Mandy Rose. So it's one of those things where that would have never happened
exactly
a decade ago.
I want to read this comment from Jamie. He says, "Could you imagine having to be Eugene 24/7?" You remember Eugene?
Yeah, but think about that. And that's what I'm saying. His gimmick actually probably would have been a gimmick that, had it been done a decade earlier, wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have been able to be done because he would have had to have operated like that all the time. And honestly, it would have almost came off as disrespectful to pretend to be that when there are people who seriously deal with those kind of things. And so again, it kind of just plays that line of at least believable kayfabe.
Sure.
like I'm okay with you having a life outside of the business, because yes, there is more to life than the job you work. But if you're out in public and you're a heel, don't be high-fiving and signing autographs and all this other stuff. That's not your job. And I think Chris Jericho, if you ever watch his podcast or hear his interviews, he'll really talk to you about the importance of being a heel. Our job as heels is to make the faces look good. Our job as heels is to sell that. We're not meant to be the autograph guy. We're not meant to be this. And who knows, you might get a face turn at some point, and then you get to eat it up and live it up and do those things.
Sure.
But you take your turns. You take your times to do those things. And I think that's why Chris Jericho is such a good heel, because he can keep kayfabe always and then go do a podcast and go right back to being in kayfabe, though.
Yeah, Jericho's a different different
right
animal, I guess.
I mean, he's able to do both, and I think that's great. But there are certain guys I don't know. There's just certain gimmicks that I look at now, and I'm like, I wonder if a decade ago if they would even be able to do this gimmick, because there's no way that person would stay in it.
I feel like, going back to Jamie's comment about Eugene, I feel like Nick Dinsmore did that character so well that he wouldn't have had to worry about being Nick Dinsmore outside of the ring, because if you look at a picture of Eugene, the character, and then look at a picture of Nick Dinsmore, a picture that was taken the same day, you can tell it's the same person, but I mean, it's almost night and day. It's just crazy. I mean, again, you can tell it's the same guy, but he did that character so well, and he could pass for being two different people if someone that watched wrestling during that time period. Let's say a waiter that's serving Nick Dinsmore at a restaurant. He say this waiter watches wrestling. He'd probably look at him and not know it's that Nick Dinsmore plays Eugene on TV. I mean, it's just he did that character so well. I just, not to get off on a rabbit trail, and I don't want to stay on this topic too long, but people are mentioning this Abaddon from last night.
It was good.
I'm not a fan.
It was good. I'm okay. Yeah, we won't stay on this too long because we're not doing recaps.
Right. I had to get that out there. I know I'm going to be in the minority on that, but I'm not digging it.
I will say this: they swerved me last night because they put on this whole promo for Anna Jay, and I was like, okay, I could see them trying to push her. She has the right look or whatever, and then
then she loses,
and then not just loses, but I'm gonna let him cancel his phone call there. Not that she loses. They have this Abaddon come out. And she's like freaky. She looked nuts. And I was like, oh, okay. And I don't remember her debut. She was at some pay-per-view, I guess, early on that they talked about. And I don't remember her. Was it like a women's battle royal or something? It had to have been something where she wasn't as noticeable or didn't get that cool of an entrance or something, because I do not remember her at all. But when she came down the ring, she definitely was believable as can be, as being creepy, and they kind of swerved us because it was like a squash match at that. Like it was a setup for two ways. One, it kind of sets this Abaddon up to kind of go through the women's division now and maybe be a contender, but they also had Brody Lee come out, hand Colt Cabana a contract after this match, and then walked Anna Jay out with the Dark Order. So we might be seeing our first woman like major player of the Dark Order too, which would be interesting as well. So I thought it was good. I'm interested to see what they do. This is kind of the first character that's kind of weird in that sense that AEW is going to really get to mess with. So I'm kind of interested to see what they do there with her. But yeah,
I want to read some comments because I know we've kind of been lackluster in that regard the last couple shows, and I've said we pride ourselves on getting you guys involved, and we've not exactly done the best job of that lately, and I apologize. But Jamie said the same thing. I was impressed by Anna Jay, interested to see where they're going with her. I'm okay with her being in the Dark Order, but just she can be in the Dark Order, but keep her, what was her gimmick name or whatever?
The star of the show.
Star of the show. I knew the show was in there somewhere. This is what I could have mentioned earlier. Speaking of show, we got another Big Show face turn back on Monday.
Oh, my goodness.
I had to bring that up again. We're not going to get off on that tangent, but he has turned once again. Because last time we saw him on TV, he was a heel, was he not?
Yeah, he fought Drew McIntyre at Mania.
Right. Yep.
Came out and slapped him and had an impromptu match.
Anyway, that's got to be a running gag backstage with the WWE talent. Anyway, yeah, people are mentioning Abaddon again. I'm not on board. I'm not a fan. I'm generally not really a fan of just overly demonic characters, I guess. I don't know. I'm not going to go there. I like Brian Allen's story. He said Taker broke character years ago at Nassau Coliseum for signings. A little girl ran to the ticket line and got hit by a car. She was okay. After that, Taker took her and sat her next to him the whole time during the signings. I've never heard that. That's a great story. I love that. Yeah, guys, as far as that game show, we'll get there. I promise. Just hang out with us for a little while. Yeah, cell phone interruption. I apologize, guys. I use my phone. I use the Bluetooth on it for certain things on the soundboard. And anyway, Rusty's comment. At least Nia doesn't hurt anyone on her TikTok.
I laughed at that. That's funny.
That's
really funny.
That's comment of the day so far. Yeah, Andrew's comment. Mr. Wrestling 2 wouldn't even take off his mask for the Jimmy Carter inauguration. That's a great story if you guys not heard that before. Mr. Wrestling 2 was invited to the White House for his inauguration, but he wouldn't take his mask off. Secret Service requested he take his mask off, and he said no. And I just thought that was that's the perfect example of staying in character, keeping kayfabe, and no matter what, do what's right from the business side. Yeah, Andrew. Tell you what, why don't we just throw up that t-shirts, the t-shirts again real quick. So this was Andrew Lascelles. I apologize if I'm butchering your last name, but Andrew had was the one that came up with the Alex Cole Bebe during a show, and then Cole basically said we should make a shirt out of that. And like I said, if you guys throw out an idea that even if you think it's silly, let us know. If we like it, we might run with it, and we ran with this one. So
this is a great example of you just never know when you comment something or interact with the show that it won't turn into something more. So
yeah, and these are the shirts that we have now available. So once again, if you're interested in one of these shirts, they are available. They are made to order, so it takes about 3 to 4 weeks from you ordering them to your front door, essentially. And if you're interested in any of those shirts, let us know. Black on gold, gold on black, black on green, green on black. $25 for a t-shirt. That does include shipping, but depending on your state of residence, there could possibly be an additional charge for taxes. Same thing for hoodies, $50. That does include shipping, but there might be incurred tax. I hate that word incurred, but anyway. If you're interested in any of those, let Cole or myself know. Those just turned out really well.
Yeah, they're actually based off of a Adam Cole shirt that's on the network or on the shop. And I just looked at it and was like, it'd be really cool if we did something like this. And literally in 24 hours, our guys here at the station were able to come up with something. And
the station,
the site, whatever you want to call it, they were able to make something pretty cool out of it. So again, shout out to Andrew. Appreciate you watching the show, man, connecting with us. And yeah, we got more ideas to come, so don't think we've forgotten about some of the other ones that we've talked about. This one just seemed to happen organically pretty quick. So there's a few other ideas we have floating around that you'll see enter the realm of t-shirt land to come. So
agreed. Again, just real quick, we got a few more people that just recently jumped on. Good morning, everybody. If you're just joining us, tuning in. We threw up our new t-shirts available today. $25 for a t-shirt shipped, $50 for a hoodie shipped. Depending on your state of residence, there could be an additional fee for sales tax. So let me know, let Cole know. If you're interested in one of these, you can contact us through Facebook, through either of our personal Facebook pages, through our Going Broadway podcast page. Let us know, and we'll hook you up. So I'm going to go back to our handsome faces there. I thought there was one more story I wanted to bring up, and I can't find it. And I thought I had... Oh, no, that isn't it. There it is. Okay. So there were some stories going around earlier in the week that Vince McMahon was wanting to make changes to NXT, which first I read that, I'm like, great, NXT is gonna go down the toilet now. Anyway, I'll read this as mostly as it is on my computer. So on Wrestling Observer Radio, they discussed NXT, and apparently McMahon has taken an even more special interest in NXT. So the quote is, "It's obvious that Vince has taken interest in it. We had a throw-up scene. We had a build for, they're really building for the championship thing on TV in particular, winner take all. So it appears that those pieces of NXT are a Vince idea. Now, I'll be honest, I'm on board with the title for title thing. I actually called it a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Now, I told Cole before we started, I would still be shocked if one person walks out with both belts. It's one of those I'll believe it when I see it kind of things. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some kind of a dusty finish, a count out, a DQ, whatever. But if one person does walk out with both titles, I am intrigued to see how they go from there. If it's going to be a situation that one person will defend both belts, if they'll just say, okay, well, you're going to be NXT champion, North American title will be held up in a tournament, that kind of thing. I'm interested to see how they pursue this. What are your thoughts?
I don't want to get off topic, but guys, just so you guys know, Facebook is about a couple minutes behind. So if you're going to want to take part in our game show giveaway and be on time with the questions, I would recommend switching over to YouTube. You do not have to even be subscribed to us. You should subscribe to us. But
you should.
You do not have to be subscribed to us to do that. You literally just go to YouTube, type in the Going Broadway podcast, and it'll be the first thing that pops up live there, and join us there as well. If you're wanting to be on time with what we're actually saying and not a couple minutes behind, I just kind of noticed that. So just to throw that out there so you have plenty of time to switch over, because if you're on Facebook, you're going to hear this in about 3 or 4 minutes. So we'll give you time to switch over, but just so you guys know, it is about a few minutes behind today. For some reason, it's just still acting up. So I would highly recommend switching over to YouTube and subscribing there.
Yeah, and again, the game show giveaway, like Cole said, you don't have to. It's just literally for our live viewers today.
Yep.
Like Cole said, we recommend that you like our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube page so you're guaranteed to be entered into our future giveaways that, they're drawings is what I'm saying.
Yep.
The one we're doing today, it's going to be a game show format. Again, we'll get there. We'll explain what we mean by that. We'll get there is what I'm saying. But
yeah, just wanted to throw that out there while I had a second.
That's totally fine. So yeah, if you're on Facebook, it might be working now. It doesn't appear to be an issue on our end. I think it's just a Facebook thing.
Behind. Yep.
If you want to have the best chance to actively participate on time with the game show giveaway that we're going to be doing, because it'll be a time sensitive thing, I'll just leave it at that. Jump over to YouTube.
Yeah. Now to answer your question, as far as NXT goes and whatnot, I didn't care for the Robert Stone thing, the whole throw up in the ring thing. It looks like he's getting paired up with Aaliyah now, based off of her helping him and whatnot. But which might be good for her. She has potential, but I just didn't really care for her. I really don't care for him, period. I don't think he's a huge draw to me as a manager. But that's just that. As far as the actual, what am I looking for? The winner takes all type match.
Yeah.
I love the idea behind it. I thought it was funny. I mentioned before the show, Alex called this to a T, actually.
Well, not quite to a T. I thought it was just going to be a one-on-one match eventually, but
oh, it will be though. They said, so basically, this coming up, we got a triple threat for the North American title,
right?
And whoever wins that is going to get a one-on-one match with Adam Cole.
That's what I meant. I thought all of them. I didn't think it'd be a triple threat. I thought it'd just be, one-on-one for the North American title. Whoever wins that match goes to face Adam Cole. So I didn't.
I like it. I
do too.
Finn Balor's in there. We thought Finn Balor should be in that conversation. He's there. We like Keith Lee. We thought Keith Lee should definitely be in that conversation. He's there. And then of course you have Karrion Kross still kind of running around, playing some different games. Who was the third person in that triple threat?
We got
Johnny Gargano.
Yeah, as I say.
Johnny Gargano, that one, I'm not mad about it, but I'm just kind of like, we just saw him fight Keith Lee, and he's the only one I really don't want to see win the belt and go face Adam Cole. I really think this is actually the perfect setup to get the belt on Keith Lee. And the reason why I say that is that you can have Karrion Kross kind of lurking in the background, interfering with this, and not put a belt on him and still make him relevant.
Right.
And keep him relevant and keep him ready and whatnot. I don't think I think hot-shotting Karrion Kross to the NXT Championship would be a horrible move right now. I think you need to give him just a little bit of time to
Agreed.
build a character. So I think it'd be great to put it on Keith Lee. Let him be the double champ. It'd be the perfect thing to get him over quick, even more quickly.
Right.
And then you can have him drop it to Karrion Kross or to this person or that person, drop the belts and make his main roster debut as well. After Adam Cole has made his main roster debut and it's kind of gotten established, you can then bring Keith Lee up. But I like it. I hope it's not a dusty finish. I hope that they put 2 belts on one person. Again, I think the perfect person to put it on is Keith Lee. If they did Finn Balor, I would be okay with it just because he's not deserving of it. The only one I don't really care for is Johnny Gargano, and I don't think you need to do it with Adam Cole. I think you need to get the belt off of him and make him have his main roster debut.
Here's my theory. WWE should do one of 2 things. First scenario, regardless of whoever wins the triple threat match, Adam Cole wins the winner-take-all match, only to lose both belts at the takeover before SummerSlam. Or go ahead and have Balor or Keith Lee. Again, I'm not on board with Gargano winning both either. Have one of them win the winner-take-all, give Adam Cole a break, let him heal up, rest up, whatever, and even go so far as to maybe troll the WWE universe. But no, just troll wrestling fans and make people think, well, we thought that he had a contract signed with WWE, but maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's going to AEW. Then have him make a huge unannounced debut at SummerSlam. And I would have him do it on the biggest match of the card, whether it's the WWE title match, the Universal title match, whatever brand you're putting him on. Throw him in and throw him in right away to keep his momentum going. Don't throw him in a mid-card title picture. I mean, just in this instance, hot shot him to the belt. Give him the Charlotte Flair treatment. I don't even care, because Adam Cole at this point, he needs to be the center of your brand. I don't care if he's Raw or SmackDown.
I've been saying that. I've been saying I think he should go to SmackDown with Undisputed Era, and kind of do what they did with AJ Styles a few years ago. Let him be the guy that is kind of building SmackDown. Mm-hmm. And AJ Styles is over there. There's some really great potential for Cole versus Styles match, Cole versus Daniel Bryan. Which we saw that one already, but it's always a good one to go back to and do another match.
Right.
But that SmackDown is the perfect brand to put a team like Undisputed Era on, and then let them run the show. Let them really be the focal point of the show, in a way that can really take it over and make it even more than what it could be. Right now, I think SmackDown's got a pretty good product. But I think putting a group like Undisputed Era over there would just really skyrocket it, as long as the storylines are right.
Then WWE needs to figure out something to make Raw feel as big as SmackDown does. Because right now, Raw, they're still saying Raw is the A show. It feels like the C show to me right now.
It's storyline. And a lot of it has to do with Raw. Seems like they got themselves into storylines that really need fans to make the storylines a little bit more connecting, I guess.
Right.
And SmackDown has a lot of storylines that doesn't really need fans. And it's like Raw is too scared to kind of nick some of those storylines for the sake of they are running with them.
Right.
And
I want to interject. I'll let you finish your thought in a second. I want to interject something real quick. Guys, like Cole said earlier, if you're on Facebook right now, we might be a minute or two behind, and we want you to be able to be as real time with us as possible whenever we do the game show part of this. Right now, my clock says 9:55 a.m. Central Time, actually just switched to 9:56 a.m. Central Time, 10:56 a.m. Eastern Time. If you're watching this and it's 2 minutes later or a minute later, switch over to YouTube. YouTube is going to be more real time than Facebook. Facebook is lagging for whatever reason this morning. I don't know why. I'd recommend, if you want to be as real time with us as possible, switch over to YouTube, goingbroadwaypodcast.com/YouTube, or just go to YouTube and search Going Broadway Podcast. It'll bring up our show right now that's live. You'll be more real time with YouTube than Facebook today for whatever reason. So just want to throw that out there. But we're going to do that game show here. We're going to do that probably right at the top of the hour. So just in about 5 minutes. Anyway, sorry, continue.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to answer one of these questions that are on our YouTube comments while I'm talking about this, because it kind of fits. DA61934 says, should they bring all of Undisputed Era up with Adam Cole or bring them along later? And I would say this. I would say you can bring Adam Cole up by himself for the first couple months or whatever, and then do a storyline where he is in the title picture or whatever. He's getting ready to win the title. It's looking a little rocky. Then Undisputed Era comes out, helps them makes their debut, and then he wins the belt, and that's kind of where they start to build the brand around Undisputed Era. But I do think you keep them together. I do think that you have them together quickly, if not right off the bat coming up all together. I think that they should be there shortly after. They're all talented. Oh, agreed. And Undisputed Era could help the tag division. Undisputed Era can help the mid-card division. That can help the main card division. So it has a lot to do with storyline, though, which is why I think Raw is struggling. Like I said, one of the high points of Raw right now is Street Profits and Viking Raiders. They have a storyline that is working because it does not need fans for it to get over. Mm-hmm. It is entertaining to watch because it does not have to have fans right now.
The Viking Profits.
But of course we saw a Big Show face turn again, and it was kind of just funny in general
for the 80th time.
But that was one of the very few storylines on Raw right now that you can be like, okay, yeah, that doesn't really need fans for me to enjoy this. Where like they're teasing an Angel Garza Andrade, I feel like that needs fans.
Exactly.
Because nobody really is able to cheer to make Angel a face or Andrade a face, whoever that's supposed to be. Right now, that's even hard to tell. They had Rey Mysterio's son come out this past week on Raw, but there was no fan reaction, and he's not really a main attraction star right now on Raw. So everything kind of feels dry because they keep doing these storylines that really need like a fan pop. And the NXT superstars are not giving you that.
Exactly.
Like AEW, their wrestlers are making everything feel high energy. Even the NXT shows feel a little bit more high energy than the rest. And maybe it's because those guys are a little bit more invested in what they're doing there at NXT than what they're doing for Raw and SmackDown and being kind of told what to do.
Right.
But SmackDown has a lot of storylines that do not require fans to make the storyline feel exciting, to make it feel good. They're just a little bit better written storylines right now. And I think it's because Paul Heyman was more focused on the wrestling. And I will say, I felt like Raw was having some good matches happening, but the storylines were kind of lacking because they were good storylines if you have crowds. And so, yeah, I hopefully Raw gets a little bit better at going forward. Hopefully they start putting together storylines that during the current climate of what wrestling is right now, do not require fans to pop for it to get over.
Right. I want to do some rapid fire, just quick thoughts that are going through my mind while you were talking. So with the Undisputed Era storyline, with DA61934's question, should they bring them up together, bring them along later? I think you could do one of three things. You could bring them all up together. You could, like Cole said, bring Adam Cole up first. Then Undisputed comes along shortly after. I mean, you don't want it too long, maybe a month, no more than 2 months later. Or the third option would be same thing, have Adam Cole come up, be the same character, the same heel that he has been, then have Undisputed Era come up, but turn on Adam Cole, and then maybe Adam Cole can become kind of like your face with an edge, kind of Stone Cold, not Stone Cold character, but just like he keeps the same persona, but just kind of as a, what's the word, like a face with an edge kind of thing. No pun intended, by the way. But because that would be a cool swerve. Now, long term, that might not be the best thing for Undisputed Era because they might just get lost in the mix. Or who knows? They might not. They might, you've got, let's say they go to SmackDown. I mean, you've got Fish and O'Reilly in the tag title picture. You've got Roderick Strong in the Intercontinental title picture, probably, maybe. I mean, I don't know. But I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence of whether or not I would go for that as far as, again, just kind of playing fantasy booker right now. But if Undisputed Era would come up separate, but then turn on Adam Cole as kind of a swerve, I think that'd be a cool short-term thing, but I feel like that could be detrimental long-term to Fish, O'Reilly, and Strong. I don't know.
I definitely think that they have a better chance of getting over and being longevity-wise, staying together.
Oh, I agree. I'm just kind of throwing out.
Andrew says he'd like to see a woman in the UE. I don't even know.
I was getting there.
Who would that be? I
don't know.
I'm just interested to see, Andrew, if you want to maybe even answer this too. Like if you want to see a woman along with the other viewers, if there was a woman added to Undisputed Era, who should that be? Because I don't think it could be anybody who is necessarily like a top talent right now. It needs to be someone who can kind of build into it. And again, I think it really has to happen like now. If that was going to happen, if they're going to get a main roster call up, I think it should have been something that's established already. Because trying to add something to it once it gets a main roster call up.
There was a rumor that Taynara Conti, which I don't know. I mean, she's not with NXT anymore. I don't think.
I'm familiar with the name,
but she were going to
Zack Ryder's girlfriend.
They were no Chelsea Green no.
Chelsea Green. I could see it, but they would need to build her way better.
Yeah, it needs to be somebody that's like
established. Yeah,
someone that's established, but could also benefit from kind of that association or that rub, I guess.
Right.
But the closest thing that, from what I've seen, that a female has been to joining Undisputed Era was Taynara Conti. I think they might have talked about it backstage. It was rumored. Obviously, it never happened. So
I could see like a Tegan Nox. If she was to do like a heel turn, I could see Tegan fitting in.
That would be a good fit.
I could see Tegan Nox fitting in with them because she has that kind of wrestling ability to fit the Undisputed Era. She has a big match ability if she was built the right way, and I think that she could benefit from that. And she kind of fits the look even, as far as what they look like as a group, she would fit in.
Yeah, we've got some other suggestions. Mercedes Martinez, no.
She doesn't fit the look.
I mean, if Britt Baker eventually comes over, obviously
would be a great fit. But
Dana Brooke, no. Rhea Ripley, no.
Rhea doesn't fit. Dana Brooke, it's too late for her. Unless they're gonna push her on her own, you can't put her in with anybody.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, guys, if you haven't already, like I said, I'll give you another minute or two to switch over from Facebook to YouTube. If you want to be as real time as possible with our game show that we're about ready to do, you'll have to have a YouTube profile or login or whatever so we can actually see your name and the comments and all that stuff. I'll give you another few minutes to do that. I'd recommend doing that heavily because if you're watching us on Facebook, it's likely not as much in real time as YouTube would be. So therefore, people that are on YouTube would have an advantage. That being said, again, switch over if you haven't already, if you want to be in real time as possible. My clock says 10:05 a.m. Central Time, so it's 11:05 Eastern at the moment. Whenever you watch that, if it's a minute or two later and you're on Facebook, I'd recommend switching over to YouTube.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
But real quick, I want to let you guys know that you can check out the Going Broadway podcast live every Monday and Thursday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, at 9 a.m. Central. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. Facebook.com/Going Broadway Podcast. Please like our Facebook page. GoingBroadwayPodcast.com/YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at GoingBRDWI Pod. It's scrolling along that ticker at the bottom of your screen. Please also consider becoming one of our patrons on Patreon. It's at patreon.com/Going Broadway Podcast. We have 4 different tiers you can choose from. After a I think it's a 2-month commitment. Depending on the tiers, you get anything from additional giveaway entries, free merch, discounted merch purchases. The discounted merch purchases would apply to these shirts that we showed earlier. These are available as of today. Without any kind of discounts, t-shirts are $25 shipped plus applicable tax. Hoodies are $50 shipped plus applicable tax. These are not, however, eligible for free merch. Only just the standard Going Broadway podcast logo shirts. Only those are options for free merch if you become a patron on our Patreon page. All right, guys, are you ready?
I'm ready.
I was going to play this DX soundbite over here, but every time I play it, our YouTube gets flagged, which is stupid because no one owns that soundbite. I get that. Anyway, I'm not going to.
I got you. Here we go. Are you ready? I said, are you ready? It's not as cool, but I made it happen.
Not bad.
Just for you.
It needs to be deeper.
I don't have
you can't,
a deep voice.
you can't open your mouth as much. Are you ready?
He wins. I lose.
Oh, I disagree. I think you did it better. I forgot. I meant to get to this comment earlier. Hang on, I gotta go back to it. DJ Jesse Lee says, when is Cole going to be Alex in this t-shirt game? Hey, Cole won a few weeks ago. He had an old school Sting shirt, and he won for that week.
Listen, when it comes to the shirts, you have to understand that our show is meant to have an old school guy and a new school guy.
Exactly.
Alex is our old school guy. He kills it with the old school shirts. I'm always going to bring you the new school stuff. So I'm always going to rock somebody a little bit more new school. I'll bust out an old school one here and there, just like Alex will bust out a new school one.
I've got some AEW shirts
Here and there, but he always is rocking the old school, and I'm typically rocking the new school, which is why our show's so great, because we have so many great opinions that mix the new and the old together.
Exactly. All right, guys, I gave you a chance to switch over to YouTube if you want to make sure you're able to actively participate in our game show that we are going to start here in a minute or two. I want to go through what it looks like, what we're doing, go through the rules, yada, yada, yada. Again, real quick, if you're on Facebook, I'd recommend switching over to our YouTube channel, goingbroadwaypodcast.com/YouTube, because it looks to be that's in more real time than Facebook is this morning for whatever reason. If you haven't done that already, do it now. Okay. So I didn't know this was a thing until probably, I don't know, probably not even a year ago, 6 months ago, maybe 7. I don't know what, it doesn't matter. But Cole, I'll ask you, and I'll ask you, the viewers as well. Did you guys know that wrestling theme mashups were a thing? Like, so wrestlers' entrances, people will mash them up together, like put them together, whether it be 2 or 3 of them, or more potentially, I don't know. Mash them up together, like they might like change the keys or speed them up or slow them down, but they'll put them together and they'll sound awesome. Like, it's in some cases they'll sound like crap, but in a lot of cases they sound really good.
I mean, I could see that. I mean, there are some that really work together. I mean, and we've seen some mashups just for tag teams that were formed within wrestling where they mashed their music up. Like the Jericho one was really good, actually.
Oh, these are better than that, though. I mean, it's Thomas says, are the comments on Facebook on time? I'm watching on YouTube, but I can only comment on Facebook. Yeah, Thomas, you're going to have to probably log into YouTube if you have a YouTube account.
I think the comments actually are on time, Lynn, just from what I can see, because a lot of the comments are coming up on our YouTube restream that I can see that are commenting right on time.
Okay,
but they're usually commented about something that happened 3 or 4 minutes ago that we said. So
yeah.
The video feed's off, but I think the comments are on time. So yeah.
Either way. All right, cool. Anyway, here's what we're gonna do, guys. We're gonna play some mashup themes for you. Basically, basically the rules are the first person to name and I'll tell you before I play each theme how many themes are mashed up. Basically, you have to name me however many. Like you have to. Okay, so let's say I play a theme and it's 2 wrestlers' themes that are mashed up. In the same comment, you have to tell me who the 2 are, and if you're the first one to do it, you're going to be your name is going to go twice into a randomizer drawing that we're going to do later in the show. We're going to do 5. I'll just say now we're going to do 5 mashup themes. All 5 of those have 2 wrestlers' themes in it. You have to name me both wrestlers, and the first person to do it gets 2 entries into this randomizer for this. A one-of-a-kind Going Broadway podcast tumbler. Now we're going to do a 6th mashup theme at the end. It's going to have 3, any combination of 3, I'll say pieces of 3 different wrestlers' themes. You have to name me all 3. Again, whoever's the first one to do that will get 5 entries in the randomizer giveaway that we're going to do later in the show. And so that one's going to be a little bit harder. So there are going to be 6 total that we're doing. The first 5, it's just the first person that I see that names them both correctly. And we'll probably let them play. We might jam a little bit because I listened to some of these. It's like, wow, these are really good. Like these are real. Like
you got me excited now.
I know. Like
this is the kind of stuff that can only happen on the greatest wrestling podcast ever.
Man, it took you long enough. We're an hour and 12 minutes into the show, and
I don't want it to go old. You know, I got to keep the fans waiting. I got to keep you on the edge of your seats.
Got to keep it fresh. I understand. All right. So again, guys, we are going to play 6 of these total. The first 5 have 2 themes mashed up together. You have to tell me which 2 wrestlers are which of their themes are mashed up. The first person to get the right answer. Again, you have to comment both wrestlers in the same comment. You can't just say...
We do have a question. Do we need to type the full name of the wrestler, and does it need to be the correct spelling?
Okay, it needs to be correct enough that I can understand what you're saying. Full name... I mean, I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm playing a theme that's got Baron Corbin in it. If you say Corbin, then that's fine. I'll know what you're talking about. But that's kind of your discretion, guys. I mean, if you
we want their real full name. We want their first, middle, and last. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, let's say I pick MJF. You don't have to type out Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Like you can say MJF. If I play Chris Jericho's, like you can just say Jericho. Like, but you can't say Chris. Like that's
if you say Chris, generic. We're gonna be like, sure.
But anyway, so let's do this, guys. This is gonna be a lot of fun. I need to do something real quick. I need to get this randomizer pulled up.
Gotta get the randomizer ready.
So I can type your guys' names in this as we go.
I can't. Whoever wins this is gonna be drinking from the greatest podcast ever. All right, like this tumbler. I'm seeing it in person, guys. This tumbler is cool. I wish I wasn't a co-host of the show so I could win it because I've been wanting a new tumbler. But this thing is cool, and you guys can enjoy coffee or whatever it is that you drink in the morning while watching the Going Broadway podcast,
which is
on Mondays and Thursdays, and it's the greatest podcast ever.
Thank you. That's what I was going for. All right, guys. Let's do this. And like I said, even once someone gets this right, we might just let it play a little longer just because all of these sound really cool in my opinion.
Drink a little bit of the bubbly.
All right.
Oh, man.
There might be some pauses in between here. I don't think any of these have ads. At least I checked all these. They didn't have ads when I checked them the first time, but if it looks like they do have ads, then I'll have to pause it for 10 or I'll have to mute it for 10 or 15 seconds.
Just a blanket statement. Going Broadway does not support any of the ads that are being played on the podcast.
Correct. All right. Let's see. Now, remember, guys, like I said, you have to get both wrestlers in the same comment. Like, you can't type out one, hit enter, and then type in another one, hit enter. They have to be in the same comment. You guys ready? I'm going to unmute this. I apologize in advance if this is too loud, but I did a sound check prior to going live, and these are all fine. So if this blasts your eardrums, I apologize. All right, here we go. First one.
Dead Man Walking.
Hang on. Isn't that awesome?
That is so legit.
So Justin Height Art was the first person on my end that got it correct.
Yeah, I see Justin as well.
All right.
Shout out to Justin Height. You are in.
All right.
Justin Height, you are in the randomizer drawing for the end of the show.
Okay, so
The answer was Undertaker and obviously Seth Rollins, as many of you guys chimed in at the end.
and I wanted to start off with something that's got some pump to it.
Oh, that was a good one.
The first time I listened to that, I'm like, wow.
I was like, I want to come out to this one. I love it.
Brian says, oh man, I am showing higher than him.
Let me double check.
On my end, it shows Justin Height Art was first.
Yeah, I have Justin on my end as well as the highest one.
So, all right.
And guys, make sure that you're writing this one. We're letting it slide. A lot of you guys wrote Seth. All right, some of those are other names may not fly like that because if it's just the first name, it could be someone like Chris, and there could be 1,000 Chris's out there that have a last name. So make sure that you're writing them out to the best that we can read them, and try not to shorthand spell because some of them we may not know what they mean.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, and guys, I apologize. There's nothing I can do if you guys are lagging. The only thing I can recommend is just refreshing your page. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a tech person, so I can't really tell you why someone's computer might be.
There's more opportunities though, and once you've won one, you're in. So,
well, yeah, and that's just it. So Justin Height Art, like you can still. No, you know what? Let's do this. I want to be fair. Justin Height Art, you can't win any more of the 5 that the remaining 4 that we're doing. I will let you and any other winners if they want to guess on the 6th one.
Yeah,
that's fine. But at least for the first 5, you can only win once.
So here we go.
All right, got to get it pulled up again.
Get ready to do our next one. So Justin, you're in. We'll allow you to do the 6th one when we do the guess for 3 of them. But everybody else, we're getting ready to start again. So get ready. Get ready to type it in. See what we got.
All right. Got to make sure that's okay. We're ad-free on this one, too. Here we go. I'm hitting play right now. Matthew Case.
I got Matthew Case as well. Oh, that's such a good song.
I know it. If Brock and Batista form a tag team.
That's amazing. So 2 things real quick. Vic, if you can hear me, you're on Facebook. It's way behind your commenting taker.
So
Seth.
yeah, James Canto, same thing. Get on YouTube. Like you're probably about 2 or 3 minutes behind.
Yeah, you're behind. Now, who was it that commented first? Michael D. You were so close, man, but make sure you type them both in at the same time. You had Brock. but we needed Brock Lesnar and Batista. I have Matthew Case. So does
do too.
Alex is the
Yep.
number one on our screen. So we got Matthew Case. That one was a little bit harder.
Yeah.
It took me a second to hear Batista's. I knew Brock's right off the back, and I love Batista's theme music on its own. But Brock Lesnar's music just took that song. You're gonna have to send me these so I can play them in my car, because that one is one that I would actually listen to, like in my car. Like,
Agreed.
that was legit.
Like all of these are fun listens in your car. All right, let's do the next one. This one is ad free also.
So
All right.
Matthew Case, you're in. You don't guess again until
Till the
to the
sixth
sixth
one.
one. Andrew, you're in. You're good. So let's see who else we got. Get ready, guys.
All right. It's hard to pick a favorite of these. Like at one point, this one's my favorite, but I go back and forth. So, all right, here we go. Make sure it's turned up. We're good. Playing it right now.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
I got Jason Coggins on this one. Is that who you got?
Yeah, if you're gonna count Ted, yes.
Yeah, I'll count it.
All right, because I have a hard time because I think Teddy Long too. So,
I knew what he meant.
but I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I got Jason. He is the first to comment on mine.
Yeah, Jason Coggins is who I'm going with. I'm gonna let this one play a little longer.
Two great songs.
I know.
Two great songs.
Everybody's got a price. Everybody's gonna pay. 'Cause the $1 Million Man always gets his way.
It's so good.
That's
so
good.
good.
Yeah, guys, like we said, Alex and I, we're double checking each other. We both have YouTube up. So, I mean, so far, each and every one has come up the same for us. So if you see it on your screen higher, we can't do anything about that. We're double checking. If for some reason one was different on mine and his, we would then kind of debate and see where we're at. But so far, we've matched up every single time. So that one goes to Jason.
Jason Coggins. All right. I mean, some of these, it's just like I want to just let them play and just hang out and jam for a while. But
That one's fun, man. That was, and I love those two songs. Those two songs are both great. So far, all these have really great songs too.
all right, let's do this one next.
So far we got Jason. We got Andrew, I believe was one.
We got Justin Height, Art,
Justin,
Matthew Case, Jason Coggins.
Yep. So you guys are all three in. You guys will be in on the sixth one again, and then this is number 4 right here. So if you guys have already won,
We got our first ad. All right, hang tight, guys.
Hold on one second. Let's get this ad out of the way real quick. Again, guys, type as best as you can, as quick as you can, as clear as you can. We can't do anything about your lags and whatnot. I mean, that's the beauty of this live giveaway for our viewers, is that it's really random as can be.
And if you type slow and you're on a phone, voice text it. I think all Hulk Hogan and Ricochet. Is that a real mashup? I'll have to look at that one. If Jason, you can. Okay, all of you guys that win the first, second, third, fourth, or fifth theme guess, I'll call it. You can be in on the sixth one.
Yep, and we'll remind you that. Vic, man, I'm trying to tell you, bro, you need to switch over.
Yeah, Vic,
you're
change.
guessing so late, bro. You need to get on YouTube because Facebook is behind, my man. Oh, man.
Okay. All right, here we go. I'm going to unmute this.
Can you do something about my slow typing?
I just said, if you're on a phone, voice text.
Man.
All right, here we go. I'm getting ready to play this. Silence. This will probably be a quick. Well, it may or may not be a quick one. I don't know. But even if it is, we'll let this one play out for a little while. I mean, all of these are good.
If you smell the rock, it's cooking.
I got Michael Jones.
I do too.
Michael Jones.
Michael Jones.
This was dope.
I had a dream that I made it here in the spotlight. Woke up to my life in the shade, now it's not quite. Hustling every day, I'm on my way to that shop light. It's my destiny to be big, yeah, I got to fight. Now that visions are so high, listen to criticism, I built my own. From the bottom, I got myself in my own zone. Never stopping, I made it, and now I ain't gone.
That was fun, man. That was cool, man.
Brian, that's what I'm saying. These mashups like are phenomenal. I'm just like I and there's tons of these. Like there's okay. There are a couple honorable mention ones that I'm gonna do that aren't gonna be part of this, but I just want to play them because it's like, holy cow! Like all of these are so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All these are blended so well.
Shout out to Michael Jones. We
Yeah.
both got you first on this one. Guys, thanks for playing Being Good Sports. I like I said, this is such a it's fun to do. It's hard because again, everyone's internet and whatnot runs differently, but we appreciate you guys playing and having a good one.
Michael, if there isn't a Cena one, Cole and I riot.
We do, Michael. Let's get it. All right,
and guys, we'll do these more in the future. Like if we're giving away something else, like we might do a shirt giveaway for our new shirts at some point, and do something like this. But
this is why you watch the greatest podcast ever, okay? Because we do fun stuff all the time. Our conversations are always great. You want to be live with us when we're on. So
I'm seriously tearing up right now. This is so much fun. I love doing this. Like just whoever put these together, it's like just anyway. Like I wish I had the editing skills of some of these people. It's just nuts. All right, this is our fifth and final one, where it includes two wrestlers. You have to tell me exactly who they are. Oh, this one has an ad also. Give us a few seconds. Okay. And again, some of these, it's just like, I'll play them and think, oh, this one's my favorite, but then
so far,
I'll
the
change
Rock
my-
Sasha one, I mean, every time you play one, it becomes my new favorite. So it's like, what are you doing to me? We have an ad on this one?
It's done. That's
all
done.
right.
And like I said, guys, after this one, I want to play a couple of them just for fun, just kind of like honorable mention ones that won't be part of it. You can guess if you want to, but it won't be part of the giveaway. I'm going to unmute this.
All right, guys, get ready.
Here we go.
This is the fifth one. I hope you guys are ready.
And I'm playing it right now.
I have voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand things.
I got Jamie Ben.
I do too.
Jamie Benslot. Jamie Benslot.
Stop questioning your I have a voice that leads me savior. It's alive and loves to hang. I have a voice that has the knowledge and the power to maneuver. I hear voices crying. I see heroes dying. I
right.
Man, so first off, shout out to Jamie Benslock. I'm glad you finally got one because like the past 2, you're like, man, on my screen, I'm at the top. So we got Jamie Benslock on that one for winning. Man, this one was fun because it was 2 snakes.
Yeah.
Viper and the rattlesnake. I like it. That was good. I still think the Rock Sasha is my favorite right now because that one got me. But when the Viper, the I Hear Voices in My Head kind of echoed with this like reverb in the beginning. Sorry guys, I'm a music guy. I just hear all the little details. And then it kind of like scratches in. Oh, that was dope. I like it.
All right, I wanted to play a couple more that unfortunately didn't make the cut for this. You guys can still guess if you want. This is not, you won't be entered into the giveaway, but I want to play a couple more that are just, each of these has 2 wrestlers as part of the theme. Again, you're welcome to guess if you want to. You won't be entered into the giveaway, but anyone's welcome to guess on the rest of these just for fun. But these just barely missed the cut. So here we go. Again, this is just for fun, just to reiterate, not part of the giveaway, but oh, I got an ad. Hang tight.
Oh, the ads. We might have to riot. I'm telling you, if the 6th one does not have John Cena in it.
All right, I'll just
we
tell you.
may just have to riot.
I'll just tell you guys now. You're gonna have to riot. There, I gave.
Boo!
I gave away a little bit of the last one that we're gonna do, but anyway, here we go. So there's that one. And I actually think that oops, dropped my phone. I actually think that was I think Jamie got that one right too. Again, it's not part of the giveaway, but I just wanted to see who got bragging rights for that one. That one missed the cut because it's like even with the volume maxed, it's not as doesn't seem like it's as loud. It's as loud for whatever reason. So
that one was cool. I liked it. I'm glad it wasn't in the competition because it still just doesn't meet the other ones you've played so far. But
yeah, I agree.
I wish the Undertaker gongs would have hit harder in the background on like the hook. That would have been probably a little bit better. But Jamie said yes, bragging rights. LOL.
I gotta find.
Mike, that's a good point. Thanks for sharing that. So there is a thing that's like comment lagging, bulk comment lagging. So when everyone's kind of commenting at the same times, it might show up at the top of your screen that it was you first, but it doesn't mean that it shows up on the actual stream as first. So just keep that in mind, guys. We are literally reading the first name that pops up every single time. So far, Alex and I have had the same thing on both of our screens every single time. If we had a difference, we would probably do something for both of you. But so far we have had the same person every single time. So
I'm flying off the cuff right now. This isn't one I was originally going to play, but I came across it and I'm curious as to how it's going to sound. This might sound like crap, guys. I don't know, but I just came across it and I want to play it. So fingers crossed it's not crap, because if it is, I'll just turn it off.
oh, okay. like the build-up, though. The build-up was nice. Yeah, the build-up was the high spot for sure.
Agreed.
The build-up was dope.
All right, so it was all right.
Just a couple fun ones.
That wouldn't have made the cut though either. I'm trying to find the one that I came across yesterday. That man, what was it? Like the one I'm trying to find, I forgot what it was, but it just barely missed the cut. And man, if I don't find it, I know what's gonna happen. I'm not gonna find it now, but like whenever we're
Off air.
yeah, whenever we're done, it's either I'm either gonna randomly find it or I'm gonna think of it. Oh, here it is. Okay, here we go. Come on. Oh, ad. Hang tight a second, guys. Okay.
I'll have to check that one out, Mike. The Nexus and that'd be a good one to check out.
What do you say?
We Are One and The Fire Burns.
Oh, yeah. All right. Again, this is just for fun. This isn't part of the contest. So
1, 2, is this on?
What's that metronome I hear? Perhaps the end is drawing near. You never hear the shot that takes you down.
Michael Jones got it.
Now your dreams are memories. Seems more quickly far away. Just like smoke fades and makes no so say goodbye. What is yours now is mine.
So that is the retro themes for both Triple H and Drew McIntyre, and Michael Jones got it.
Man, as you hear some of these and you kind of get bummed that you never will get to hear that song played.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, like as someone's walking down the ramp again, because Drew McIntyre's old song was the bomb.com. I'm sorry, like that song was dope, and well, we're not animated enough. So yeah, man, that's a good song.
All right, guys, we got one more, and anyone and everyone is welcome. Even prior winners, the prior 5 winners are welcome to guess at this one. This one has 3 different themes. I will. This is all I can say. I will allow. And it'll kind of make sense once I play the theme. I will allow varying answers, but you have to have. You have to have one clear cut for sure. And you have to have 3 different. You have to guess the 3 different pieces of this. But it'll make sense once I play it. You guys will understand what I'm talking about. But there are varying answers that I will accept. So, all right, this is the final one. The winner of this.
Everyone's in.
Everyone's in. The winner of this gets 5 entries because it's a little harder. All right, guys.
Get ready. Get your fingers ready. Have the comment bar ready to go.
And remember, all the answers have to be in the same comment. You can't just, you can't just put one, hit enter, another one, hit enter. It all has to be in the same comment. All right. I'm hitting play right now. No one has got it right so far, but you guys are close. This one is harder. That's why the winner gets 5 different entries. Hold on, I need to pause it and read through some of these because I don't think anyone's got it yet. I got to look. Oh man,
Everyone's kind of the same. Like there's 2 that I think are clear, and then there's one that's like
you guys are so close. No one has got it yet. A lot of these have like 2 correct answers.
Yeah,
all right, I'm going to start it over. But I'm only going to let this play through once. I'll let this play through once. Here we go. You guys are so close.
who's gonna get it?
We have a winner finally that I'll accept. So it was Lesnar. It was any combination of the Shield. You could have said Shield. You could have said Ambrose. You could have said Rollins. You could have said Reigns. Any combination of those. And you could have also said Dangerous Alliance, Arn Anderson, the Enforcers. I would have accepted any of those. So I think, and Cole, you'll have to help me out here. I think the first person to get all of those was Kenneth Sapinda, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing your last name.
It was the Enforcer, Shield, and Lesnar, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to look and see if there's any that was before that. Because a lot of people were guessing Brett.
There was a lot of I could not think of the other one.
So yeah, it was an old school theme, but it was not Owen Hart. It wasn't anyone in the Hart Foundation. It wasn't Earthquake or the natural disasters. It was not Barry Windham.
I gotta go up. So,
but a lot of you, it was not Midnight Express. A lot of you guys had like 2 of the 3 right answers. But it looks like Kenneth
yeah, I'm not seeing any that have the same answer other than
was
him.
it was not Natalia. Sorry, David, it was not Mulkey Brothers, Thunderfoot, and Italian Stallion.
Some great answers.
It was
guys.
not-
It was tough.
Someone said the Horsemen. That was not a Horseman team. That was the Dangerous Alliance. Was not Pillman. Was not Gender. It wasn't
Nope,
Mr. Perfect.
he's the only one.
So Kenneth, I think, and I'm confirming. I think you were the winner of the 5 entries. Yes, you were.
All right.
So Kenneth was our.
Good,
Yeah.
good job, guys. I like that one was tough. That one was really, 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 really tough. I was sitting there for half of it, and I was just like, "What is the third one?" Because I was thinking Brett, just like everybody else, and he kept saying it was wrong, and I was like, "Who else could that be?"
All right, guys. I got 10:48 Central Time, so we're gonna go ahead and do this giveaway, and then we will conclude our show with this giveaway. This was a lot of fun, guys. We will do these in the future because I mean, there's plenty of mashups to go around on YouTube, but those are the ones I picked out. I thought they were appropriate selections, if I do say so myself. And if you guys enjoyed it, let me know. Dangerous Alliance theme. So, but I would have accepted Dangerous Alliance. Or in addition to that, I would have accepted Arn Anderson. I would have accepted Paulie Dangerously, aka Paul Heyman. I would not have accepted Paul Heyman though. No, actually, I take that back. I would have just by default because he comes out with Brock. So, anyway. But I would have accepted, again, Enforcers was actually the answer I went with. Bobby Eaton, Rick Rude. Who else was in Dangerous Alliance? Steve Austin. I'm leaving Larry Zbyszko. So, okay, guys, let's do this little giveaway, shall we? And we'll wrap up the show with it. So, I got Matthew Case with 2 entries, Jason Coggins with 2 entries, Justin Height Art with 2 entries, Michael Jones 2 entries, Jamie Benslock with 2 entries, and Kenneth with 5. I'm not even going to try to pronounce your last name just because I suck at
You're
names.
here, you know.
Yeah. Now, I will say this, guys. I've said this before with our giveaways. If you live in Alaska, Hawaii, or internationally, you will have to cover the shipping for this or help cover the shipping for it. If you live within the lower 48 states, not a problem. I will take care of it. And the winner of this has to contact me. Okay. You have to private message me either through my Facebook page or my personal Facebook page or through the Going Broadway podcast Facebook page. You have to contact me. I will not be reaching out to you. So let's do this. I got, just so you can hear me clicking, I'm going to bring this down here. Maybe. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here we go. Number 10 is going to be Kenneth. Kenneth gets the win.
Kenneth, for that, man, you deserve that win because that was hard. So shout out to Kenneth.
So yeah, Kenneth Sapinda. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing your last name, but private message me. We'll get this one-of-a-kind Going Broadway podcast tumbler sent out to you. Contact me with your mailing address. Again, if you live internationally, we'll have to figure out something as far as shipping goes.
You're going to be drinking in style, my man.
You will be drinking in style.
With the best podcast ever.
And guys, thanks for participating. I had a lot of fun with this.
That was
I know
fun.
Cole did. I told Cole whenever he walked in this morning before we went on the air, I said, we're going to have some fun today.
He surprised me. I didn't know we were doing this, guys. So here's the great thing about our show is that there's a lot of times that I don't even know what's going on, which is great because it just makes the show even more fun to be on the spot. So this is how you know it's random. This is how you know it ain't planned, because there are a lot of times where Alex keeps things close to the chest
Because I want Cole to have fun too.
because it's a lot of fun.
All right, guys, like I said, we'll do this again in the future. We might do one of these per month. I don't know. I mean,
Just for fun. Why not?
it's just a lot of fun because like whenever I found out wrestling mashup themes were a thing, I'm like, these sound really, really good. And I thought, you know what? We'll have a little thing where you all can guess what they are, and we'll have fun. You'll have fun. We'll have a good time. Cole, any final thoughts?
Man, thanks for joining us, guys. A lot of fun today. Should be some more wrestling content to go this weekend, so watch it. Join us Monday. I'm sure we'll have something great for you on Monday as well.
As always, for Cole, for Alex, myself, thank you again so much, guys, for tuning in and hanging out with us. We really enjoyed it. Kenneth, don't forget to private message me. We'll get you hooked up. And we will catch you guys, as always, Monday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central.
And so, goodbye. Mwah. And good night. Bang!
This podcast was a presentation of LightUpMedia.fm.